So I thought that we would start by talking about this day and how you got involved with global climate and things having to do with the International Day of Happiness.
Well, there's so many parts of it. I got invited in, back in 07, by the way, by Al Gore and Kevin Wall to be a part of Live Earth, which was this movement, and is this movement, about climate change, the effects of global warming, another issue, people's denial of it.
Big time.
And I found myself just really being concerned once you realize the gravity of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Found myself being really concerned. And so we put on this concert, and we had different people in different continents.
This is back in 07?
Yes, in 07.
Wow.
And we sung for climate change,
Wow.
and this time we're doing it. We want 1 billion, we'd like to have 1 billion signatures or more, because there's 7 billion people on the planet.
Mm.
And, we have the reach now. So, for me, I think my contribution into it is just I was the creative director the first time, they're making me creative director the second time. I just want music, and I just want to literally have harmony. I want humanity to harmonize. I was going to say it differently, but it wasn't coming out right.
And that's going to take place, today is the day you're announcing that.
Yes.
I see. And you picked, and were you familiar with International Happiness Day, or was this something you knew about before you wrote the song?
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Because I never heard about it until this.
No, I mean, I didn't know for a short while either. And then it was like, yeah, there's a day, and actually, one of our buddies from Virgin, excuse me, did I really do that? I'll tell you why I said Virgin is because a lot of the crew that are at Columbia Records now are from the original crew of Virgin Records. And so one of the guys there had a really good idea when speaking to the UN of this idea of, merging the two intentions together, the intention of the song Happy and the intention of the International Day of Happiness. And somehow we ended up here in this great place.
Exactly. Well, let's talk a little bit about the song Happy, because it's one of the things that interests me about the song Happy is that not only does it say happy, but it sounds happy. Was that your intention when you wrote it, to make a song that actually elicits happiness? I mean, when you put that song on, I don't care if you've heard it 2 million times, you feel happy, as opposed to just the word happy, because other songs could say love, you don't feel love, So there's this amazing synergy of the lyric, the music, the whole feel of the event of it, which never seems, I will confide that my dog even responds to this song. He starts wagging his tail every time it comes on. He just gets happy. Was that part of what you had in mind when you created it, or is?
No.
I thought I was onto something, but apparently not.
Okay, well, yes and no. Yes, in the sense that I was trying to meet the expectations of the director.
Because it was created for the animated movie.
Yeah, for Despicable Me, and the script and the actual moments. I was trying to connect that emotion, but I did not know that it was going to turn into this. I did not know that I would be here today doing this.
Right.
I did not know that, when you look at the views collectively, what those numbers look like. I never realized ever or dreamt ever that a song could do this. And part of watching it happen is when you realize it's not you. It's the people, and I'm sure you guys have heard me say this before, but it's the countless numbers. It's the numbers of the people. It's their activity that turned that song into what it is. It's actually their song now. They sang it more than I did.
I think it's all of your song. But, but that was interesting, too, because the initial idea for the video incorporated all these people. Was that in your head at the time, that it might be like the song would have that kind of unifying approach, or was that just came about because it was cool to have all these different people sing the song.
We didn't know. We didn't know that that was going to happen. And when it did, it just kind of like caught like fire. And we were just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Because that's when you realize it just has nothing to do with you anymore. I'm telling you, that's the most humbling thing. Something that you do when it just when you're no longer even a part of it anymore, and it just goes on and takes on a life of its own.
Yeah.
There's no greater, version of like being humbled to me than
Yeah.
that.
But what's cool is also what Google's done with this happiness project, the Happy Planet project, is basically make it even bigger.
Yeah.
So they're incorporating both what you're talking about with global warming and the song. There's it's taking on like different ramifications all the time, which is kind of amazing.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm here. But it's awesome. And, Live Earth is something that we want everyone to participate in. It's really honestly like a global party,
Yeah.
But
I tell the story because I think it's so interesting and actually kind of educational and makes me always feel better about how long it took for Happy to catch on. The song was out. Anyway, you tell the story. Because it was the genesis of the song is so interesting because the success of it would indicate that it was successful from the jump.
Right.
And that's not what happened.
No. The movie came out in July, and we went to radio with it, and it didn't sound like anything else that was going on. It wasn't a trap song. And it wasn't an EDM record. There was no douche, 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 douche. It wasn't that. They were like, what is this record? What are you doing? And, I was just excited that like we were able to pull off those kind of chord progressions.
Oh, it's amazing.
And something that had to do with pop culture.
Right.
So I didn't think it was when it didn't go to radio, I was like, oh yeah, I didn't think it was gonna happen. But look, yeah, me and my wife, we're gonna go to the movies and we're gonna watch it, and this is actually gonna be in there, and that's enough for us.
That's so nice of you.
That was enough.
Yeah.
So I remember like us both tearing up at the premiere, and we were good. We were like, okay, cool,
Yeah.
done. And 6 months went by, and then finally,
6 months. I think everyone who does something should think about that no matter how great something is, sometimes it doesn't hit right away.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we were like, we had to do a video. Like, we have to. Karen VZ, who runs I Am Mother, was like, we have to. We can't let this record go. We love it. And I was like, yeah, I do love it. And because it felt good to us. Remember, we didn't think it would have this effect. We just knew what we felt internally.
Right.
So we were like, well, let's just take advantage of the moment and just do it anyway. And then so Mimi Valdez said, well, if you want this to be considered and get the kind of light, you should do exactly what Gru was doing in the video. And so...
Gru being the character in Despicable Me.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
See, that's why we have the professional here. Right?
I'm just, for those of you who don't go to Despicable Me.
So...
Which is no one in this room, of course. Everyone's seen it.
we shoot the video, and I think in November, toward the end of November, I want to say like the week of the 20s of November, we put it out, and I mean, it just exploded,
Yeah.
the video. It just exploded, and we were like, are you seeing this? Is something wrong? And then you go look at the iTunes page, and you just see like all the countries, and I'm just like, what is that? And from my perspective, I'm a producer.
Right.
So I'm definitely not expecting anything like this to happen.
Right.
And the look on my face right now is kind of like the way I felt. And I still feel that way. I really do. And so what that song did is that song made me change my perspective. And now I feel like I make music because it feels good, and that's the only thing I want to do now.
Huh.
Like, if it doesn't feel good, I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
And it's not because I'm trying to ever feel this again, because happy it's its own thing.
Sure.
But I just want to continue to just explore different feelings and thoughts, and I want them to be vivid like that. Mm-hmm. And the song, after it was done, showed me that. I didn't go into it with that intention, nor did I set out to tell people that, but it told me that. So then that made me change, and it made me say to myself, okay, now you can't go back. You know what this feels like now. And not being the face of a song or singing a song. I'm just saying, like, you know that a song can feel this way.
Exactly.
You have to, you can't. Like, it has to be this way.
Did you ever hear again from radio? I mean, do you remember the first time you heard it, like them playing it in heavy rotation on the radio? Because I felt like that was so, I love when a song feels like it's everywhere, and that song just was everywhere.
Well, the beauty in that is that, like, for a moment, you know, radio became like this monster that people felt like they had to conquer in order to be a part of.
Exactly.
And I have to say, it was the DJs and the program directors that when the song actually did start working, they would tell us, man, you know what, we tried it at first and it didn't work, but we're so happy for you. It does work. Man, you should see when it does this. My daughter, my son, my
Yeah.
And man, if it weren't for the radio DJs, you know, if it weren't for the program directors, and when they did get behind it, they went full throttle. And I have to say, if any of you guys are listening at radio right now, and program directors, thank you. You have changed my life. You have changed my perspective. And I would argue and dare to say that you've essentially changed the world.
I would agree.
Yeah.
And here. It's a good thing, changing the world. Yeah. So today on the radio, when I came here, the UN Secretary General, Ban Ki-moon, said that the song, when he was praising you.
He talked about it?
He talked about you, and he talked about this day. And he said that it was on the BBC. You can look it up.
What?
And yeah, it was on BBC Radio this morning, and I felt like, wow, I'm going. It's exciting. And he said that when he is blue, to be happy, he listens to music. And he said that the thing he listens to most is, he said, of course, happy, but he also said, I'm an old man and I listen to Stevie Wonder.
Whoa.
So the question is, in your life, what music has made you happy? At different times in your life, have you turned to music to change your mood, or was there any particular thing that just made your day when you heard it?
How serendipitous. It is Stevie Wonder.
Really?
Yeah.
Which songs in the Key of Life? Any particular song?
There's so many albums. I mean,
You gotta pick a song. Like Happy.
A song? It was tough to do that when
You did the
talking to
special.
him. Yeah. Well, we did the special, and also on Snoop's album, there's a song with Stevie Wonder,
Oh,
myself, and Snoop called California Roll. You guys have to check it out. Because he's on there singing and playing the harmonica, and it's just unbelievable.
You can do it when you were young, like when you were a kid, when something would come on the radio. What got you like in the mood, in a good mood?
Okay. Now, this is going to sound very confusing, but when I was young, I didn't really know what all my emotions were. So, and I didn't realize that the songs were making me emotional. I just realized that there was a difference whenever, like, certain songs came on and chord changes would come on, different patterns. It would make me feel a certain kind of way, and it would mostly happen in Stevie Wonder songs.
Really?
Or Earth, Wind and Fire songs, because it's those jazz progressions. They mean everything. They lift you. You know, ask Elton John. He knows. Chords do things. Chords are actually coordinates. You know, because they take you to a different place.
But it's interesting that you talk about chords, because you started out as a drummer. So you would think your thing would be rhythm.
It is at the core, but I think what really just makes me move is like chords. I don't know why. Chords and a melody is just kind of like, oh. You know?
So that's why Happy works.
Man, I'm just glad that it did. You know, because the thing is that I was lucky enough at the time to have CeeLo on the song with me. And he sounded so amazing.
See, I never even knew he was on the song.
Yeah. CeeLo Green was on there with me at first.
He's in the movie version, or there are two versions, right?
No, he's actually on another song.
I see.
that they elected for him to be on.
Oh, I see.
But he was on there with me originally, and I have to tell
see.
you guys, he sang it way better than I did.
That's impossible.
That's why I even brought it up, because I was like, I'm lucky. I'm like, man, if y'all would have heard CeeLo's version.
But you still have to give me a Stevie Wonder song. Just give me one.
I try to get out of it.
Just pick one. Signed, sealed, delivered.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Not
Signed,
enough.
Sealed, Delivered. There's Blame It on the Sun. There's
Blame it on the Suns.
April Showers. Don't Worry About a Thing. Do I Do? All I Do.
Okay, that's.
He's done it all.
When you meet somebody like him, do you get nervous, or like is it just like you have that common language of music?
I'm too busy paying them compliments and taking notes.
I see.
Yes, it's just because when you're around masters, or like like a Abbott, the Abbott that Stevie Wonder is. Like when you're around someone like that, you listen to his every utterance because you're lucky to get that time. That guy has moved mountains. I'll just call to say I love you.
Now that's a good one. I think everyone loves. See, everyone went ah.
Right? Or you
that-
are
I
the
think-
sunshine of my life. Like he's done this. He's done Happy 20 billion times.
Not really. He has, but the thing about Happy, I mean, he has done it in a different way. Those songs have a different, I think because it's a different time.
Yeah.
Happy has a certain cohesive thing,
Yeah.
it brings people together in a different way.
Yes.
I think that was a different time where there were more songs on the radio and things felt less, Happy feels very special in that way. It feels very, even when you do like 5 seconds of it on The Voice, I get happy.
Wow.
When that girl, there was a little, in case you guys didn't see it, there was one of the girls auditioning was like in high school. She didn't make the show, but Pharrell sang Happy with her, and it was an incredible moment. Like you sort of changed that girl's life in a second. It was great.
Well, she changed mine,
Yeah.
She it made me get up. It was one of those things, it's like, it's in the room.
Yeah.
That's the thing, man. We just have to, if we could just continue to surrender to the things that just feel, just and right, like what you got to do at that moment, it'll be a better place. But that's what today is about. Today is about everyone taking on that, the idea that like happiness is a birthright to everyone. And so is freedom, by the way.
Okay, so that brings up my next question. You have, correct me on the word, synesthesia, right? Mm-hmm. So
A lot of musicians do.
is there a color that you saw when you did Happy?
I always
You guys
saw-
know what synesthesia is, yes? Explain synesthesia to them.
Okay. Here we go.
When you
All neuroscientists, forgive me
Yeah.
ahead of time. Start to use words that don't really fit. Start speaking metaphorical, which is a side effect of synesthesia. So synesthesia is when your mind sends ghost images to other sensory departments of the brain. So if you hear something, because in a sense, okay, don't hold me to this because this is the world watching, but in a sense, it's like all of your nerve endings when you're born, they're supposed to prune, and some of them stay connected. And so if your sight and your hearing are connected, then if one sees something, then it sends a ghost image to the other one. So if I'm hearing something in my mind where the perception is, my mind is telling me that like I'm seeing colors as well. But there's all kinds of synesthesia. There are people who actually taste colors, or there are people who, of course, hear sounds, or see sounds, or people who can taste feeling or smell a feeling, or they smell a color, like they smell purple and it doesn't smell grape. It's pretty weird, but you guys can.
Yeah.
A lot of artists have it. A lot of writers have it. A lot of a lot of artists have it, just across the board, from
Yeah.
fashion to architecture. They will tell you, and there's no, it's no coincidence that the blues is called the blues,
Interesting.
or bluegrass. Like there's definitely
A color.
colors associated with music. And the Roy G. Biv, ironically, just so you know, is it matches the keys in the Western keys that we recognize. You know, the 12 notes. Those
So,
controversial things.
so when you were young, did this freak you out that you saw colors, or did you just get into it?
No, I thought everyone was like that.
Oh, I see.
And a lot of people are though.
Uh-huh.
It's not rare.
But so happy, what color? Yellow, I guess.
Yellow, there's orange, and there's like red. It's like there's fiery colors. And I think it's because of the nature of like the jazzy, bluesy colors in the chorus, chords in the chorus colors. And in the verses, they're like, it's major, so it's very, church, and kind of makes you, kind of does that to you a little bit. Did I just describe that in front of everybody? And poorly, by the way. But that's why I see the yellow and the orange and the red. But they made Happy yellow, obviously, behind the Minions, and it fit perfectly. It feels bright.
So here's a question I asked you before that you had a great answer to. What are your 5 favorite non-musical sounds? Sounds that are not made by a musical instrument. You don't remember what you said? Or you can give me one. Just give me one. Because I don't want to pressure you.
I'm so afraid of what I said.
You said great things. You said great things.
Okay, ask the question one more time.
One favorite non-musical sound, like champagne corks popping, or a dog sighing, or waves, or traffic, or...
My son's voice.
There you go. A lot of people say their son laughing. Does your son have a good laugh?
He does. He does. And the things that he laughs at are so wrong. We have that in common. It's like father, like son.
He'll just start cracking up.
Oh, man, he falls out. And sometimes you have to rock it. That's not funny. You're not supposed to. That's not right. Just when we get home.
Does he do a version of Happy?
He doesn't in front of me.
Uh-huh.
It's really interesting, my son. Like he watches so intently, and then you see it coming out of him later, but it's never a thing. Like he's just now saying sometimes, Dad, I want to go to the studio with you.
Oh, that's nice.
He's just now saying that. But other times he comes in and he's just like, I want to go to the booth. I don't want to do your song. I want to do my song.
Oh, okay.
Okay, no, not that. Let me do this. And then he's in the booth for like, 20 or 30 minutes.
Does he have a song?
Oh, he has several. He has several. And I'm proud of him, man. I mean, it's been amazing to see the stuff that he comes up with at his young age.
That's so great. How old is he?
He's 6.
Wow, that's a great age. Okay, so what's the rest of your year look like? What are you doing? What are your, I imagine you have a long, big plan. So do you have a new record? Do you have a new, I say record because I'm old. Do you have a new album? Do you have a new, whatever, CD? What do we call it now? Do you have new music? I don't have a computer even, so. I'm old school.
I'm in the kitchen.
You're in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But you're a busy man. You have the voice and the kitchen and the
Oh,
saving the world
musically.
thing.
Musically.
Yeah.
Musically, I'm in the kitchen.
Yeah. And what does that mean? Although it sounds very exciting.
It means I'm trying to be, I'm trying to be poker faced about it. But I'm so excited. I really am.
But do you feel pressure because of the enormous success in the last couple of years? I mean, does that make it more difficult, or does that not affect you at all?
No, you only feel that kind of pressure when you think you did it.
Ah, interesting.
When you realize that you don't have that control and the only thing you can do is just make what feels good to you,
Yeah.
then you let go and let God
Yeah.
and let the people.
So how is The Voice? What is it like being on The Voice?
It's an honor. You meet all these incredible, you just meet these incredible spirits. You meet these people who have the craziest stories, Take a kid like Sawyer, who...
He's amazing.
He's 15. He's never heard of Robert Johnson, sings the blues, sings CCR, and, He's from upstate New York.
On
And
a farm. He grew up on a farm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Or Mia Z, or you think about just they're 15 and 16 and 17. This girl, Corinne, 17 years old,
Yeah.
beautiful, but when she sings, you just hear like the grounding of the earth.
Right.
And I'm just like, how do you, when I was 15, I would be so embarrassed for you to read those lyrics or hear anything that I was doing at that time. And
I think you're probably great when you were 15.
oh man, but these kids are superior. They're superior to what we were doing. They're
Is that what
prodigies.
surprised you about the show?
Yeah, because you first of all, I've never been in a room, or a situation where that big of a concentration of that much talent is in one room and under one roof. And then because there's so much talent there, like the Scouts there are genius, but because there's so much talent there, like one is you realize two things. Some people have it in them and they sing amazing, and then some people sing amazing, but they don't really know where they want to go. But what you guys are seeing on TV is you guys are seeing like people show themselves and it being determined, like them determining their own fates right then and there. I know where I'm going and I know what I want to do, or I don't know and I want you to save me.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're faced with, but it's such an honor to do such every week.
It's amazing. I mean, I think it almost takes you by surprise how deep you get into it.
Well, yeah, because you're like helping people, and that's, man, without the help, I don't know where I would be right now. So it's my responsibility to pay it forward. And that's what being on The Voice allows me to do.
And Happiness Day.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I would like to say thank you to you, Lynn
my
Hirschberg,
pleasure.
excuse me, and also to Google for this amazing opportunity to say hello and be a part of this happy day, and also the UN and Ban Ki-moon, and I can't believe he's even,
I was pretty excited when I heard it on the radio this morning.
Yeah, it's.
That's why we should all listen to the radio. Then we'll hear these things.
We should. Radio's good to us.
Okay, I think
Thank
that's
you
all.
again.
Thank you so much.